Hello everybody and welcome back to Forever and Ever the Killie Fans podcast, season 4, episode number 15. My name's Paul Montgomery and I'm joined here in Limelight Studios by my co-host and friend Callum Scott. How are you tonight, Killie Cal?
Both here with plenty of egg in our face tonight,
I think so.
To an extent, aye.
Aye, is that your main takeaway for the weekend?
Well, somebody's got to be the sacrificial lamb for Killie's performance at the weekend.
Listen, mate.
It's all your fault for drawing too much attention to us down at McInnes and instead of getting behind Kettlewell on the team.
Well, it's all water under the bridge now, mate, so we move on. We've learned our lesson. We'll obviously need to, unfortunately, talk about the performance on Saturday night, a 3-0 defeat at home to Hearts. Very sobering occasion on more ways than one. So we'll talk about that, but we've got Rangers coming up this weekend. We're playing them on Sunday, hoping to avoid the new manager bounce. Their manager got announced about an hour ago, Danny Rowe.
Aye, I don't know, it's one that I wouldn't be too pleased with if I was a Rangers fan, to be fair. Just, there's no doubt he's got an alright coaching pedigree, but let's say managed less than 100 games and he's got the Rangers job. I know Steven Gerrard never managed before that, but Gerrard's a huge figure in football, isn't he? So it's absolutely a totally different kettle of fish altogether.
Aye, so we'll talk about that, obviously, give that a wee bit of a preview. We've got your questions on the X. We've got Alan's Gripe of the Week, which returns. All roads lead to Killie. Try to raise a wee bit of awareness and some cash for the food banks. And just the kind of other general roundup of Killie news that there's been over the past couple of days, including Chris Burke, who has sadly left the club for Brentford B, I'm reliably informed. So the word legend gets bandied around. He's a Killie legend.
Absolutely is. When you consider where he started for as a kind of back part player under Lee McCulloch, to then being a key figure throughout the Clark team, to staying with us when we get relegated and getting us back up, to then being involved in the coaching setup, and of course leading the young team to the Scottish Cup last year was incredible. So I goes with his best wishes, and it's because it was an outside chance he could have been manager in the summer as well. You know what I mean? Yes. So took interim charge against Hearts, but a top guy, and he'll be sadly missed, but somebody that definitely is welcome back at the club whenever he wants. No, we'll be back on here calling for him to get booed when he comes back with.
Probably when we play Brentford in the Europa League next year. No, Chris Burke, one of my all-time favourite players, I would say, in the top 10. Handles himself with class and dignity, whatever his role's been at the club. Tremendous what a player to watch, and he actually sat next to us up at Motherwell, if you remember, for his boy coming on for his debut that famous night in May towards the end of last season. He was sitting right next to us and looked proud as punch when Cole came on the park. So what a guy, goes absolutely with everybody's best wishes, and again somebody you'd hope to see back at the club one day in some kind of capacity. Well,
without doubt he's somebody that we've not actually done a deep dive on.
No, but that might be worthwhile thinking about now that we're
absolutely is plenty to talk about. So,
but he's obviously ambitious, mate. You know, he was ambitious as a player and all, went down, had a great career, so it wouldn't surprise me if he went down and ended up coaching in England or something like that, because he's obviously got all the tools.
There was talk, wasn't there, off the back of the Youth Cup final, that he was got to Rangers in the summer, as well. Right, so something to do with the Youth Academy there. So I was happy that he stuck about, but he obviously can't turn down that opportunity to go and work for a club like that. It's definitely an up, and he's gained a unbelievable level of experience. So but he's somebody, no doubt, that whenever the time comes and potentially a managerial vacancy will come up at Killie, folk will maybe turn to his name, especially with him now progressing his coaching career.
Absolutely, man, well said. So a wee bit of positivity at the weekend. The women's team won again. They're now clear at the top of the league, so they're looking really set for a big promotion charge, and it was against one of their closest rivals, Spartans. So that was some good news. Seems to have been quite a kind of grim few days. Obviously nothing confirmed around about Max Stryjek, but everybody have heard the rumours. We're not going to perpetuate them, but it doesn't sound very, very good at all, and obviously missed the game on Saturday. I would expect some kind of announcement around about whatever kind of condition he's in terms of his health or fitness over the next few days. But so just for me and Cal, and out of us everybody listening to Max, we're obviously wishing him the very best and a speedy recovery, and we're missing him already.
Without doubt. I think that almost kind of set the tone for the weekend. I know we'll come on to that specifically, but that's was running about my kind of feeling towards going to the game, thinking there's just no much stacking up for us here with the injuries. But Stryjek was present there. He was in the director's box sitting just in front of us, and again seemed to be in good spirits in that, which was good. But we just wish him all the best, and the sooner he's back between the sticks, the better.
Fully agree, man. Right, okay, unfortunately we do need to talk about Saturday night. 3-0 home defeat. We'd obviously gave it the big build up. We were noising up Hearts fans, no intentionally by the way, but
we weren't even on the go to Hearts.
no, but our wee Facebook page was danging and banging, man. It was quite
one of the only times we've ever been ratioed, man.
Aye, we did. We get horsed.
But hey, that's what it's all about. You've put yourself out there. You've got to take that.
That's celebrity life, man. Do you know what I mean? And I'm going into the jungle in December now. I'll be on doing the Bush Tucker trials and all that. So the last laugh will be mine. But let's get down to the game, mate. Thought we were soundly beaten. Thought 3-0 was a pretty fair reflection on the performance. Worst we've played, weirdly enough, after probably some of the best we've played the previous weeks. But that's going to be part of it, mate. We're a very new squad, and looked like a game too many maybe for a couple of them and stuff who've done really, really well for us. But I had no complaints when the third goal went in, and again I'll need to just take the flak. I got up and left. I wasn't want to stay for any longer than I had to when it went to 3. I was a wee bit upset. So
you must have stuck around longer then, because you obviously bumped into me just before that, after the second goal I think, and you were on your way out. And you said this will end up 3 or 4 the night, and then the third happened, and then
oh no, I wasn't going out at that point.
Oh, right,
no, I wasn't going out. I was going to the toilet at that point, and I come back, but I definitely left at 3.
You weren't the only one that left at 3.
No, I understand. I wouldn't say anything to anybody that left after that, because it just wasn't a pleasant experience.
Nah.
But obviously Hearts have come down. Hearts are on the crest of a wave. They look a good side to me.
They do.
No bias aside, they look very assured. Thought they were very comfortable in maybe the first 15-20 minutes where we were getting in their faces, but as soon as they went ahead, I think it felt a wee bit like an Old Firm game. They just felt like, to me, they were playing in maybe second or third gear, and if they really put the foot down, they could have went and won by more. So just a sobering night, mate, and put back in our place a wee bit, which wasn't very pleasant.
That's exactly what happened. We were put back in our place. I was just bitterly disappointed for the word go. I knew for the minute I was in the vicinity of the ground, I was like, nah, like, and again, don't claim to be any superstitious or anything like that, but sometimes you just get a feeling, good or bad. For example, the night we beat Arbroath, like when I was walking down to the ground that night, I was like, there's no way that we'll no winning this league tonight. Didn't think it would be in those circumstances, but I was like we're back after this. And the minute I got to the ground, and I was the earliest I've been in the ground for some time as well, and I was just like, just felt really flat all across. Again, don't want to get too into that. I've heard my thoughts in the forums, and some folk don't like it, so just got to suck that up, I suppose. But I stand by my comments. I thought it was flat. I don't think the support were as up for it as I would have liked us to be. Just felt like Hearts' night.
I did feel like Hearts' night. Yep, agreed.
And you saw that with the huge crowd they brought down, and credit to them. Again, it's something that I think that's been long overdue for them, to be fair, but as we said last week, it's very similar to that kind of Burley era. It's riding on the crest of that kind of wave, and it just felt like everything was adding up. But then when the game actually started, we started pretty well, and you're thinking, here we go, they look, I wouldn't go as far as saying spooked, and even thought the Hearts fans, they went back into their shell a wee bit, because I think maybe this isn't got to be straightforward as we thought it was going to be. But then ultimately, it's funny because Alison came to the game with us, as well as my nieces, and Alison's like, Killie are playing well. I goes, aye, but we need to score in one tap. Just as that happens, corner in, I goes, tell you,
terrible goal to lose, wasn't it? That
awful goal, man, awful goal.
Me.
And I think that's just used the word spooked for there, but that completely spooked us. For then on, you're like, we just could not get back into the game at all. Like, as far as I was concerned, I thought that it's funny because without getting into too much detail about the tactics and all that and everything in hindsight, I think that and it's frustrating because it just feels like after every kind of defeat or so-called bad result or underachieving result, but I think it really exposes the system again. I just thought that we had zero width. We were really, really hopeful after they scored. I think that whatever game plan we had was entirely out the window, and it was a case of just trying to get the body dackers in whatever form necessary and hoping that something was going to break. I just didn't really, I thought that the wing backs weren't anywhere near as good as they have been at getting us forward, and there was just too many had an off night. And by the way, that can happen, but it just hurt that much because how we built the game up. But we said, well, the club treated it like any other game, and if some of that maybe showed, because we weren't. I didn't think we were up for the fight. Again, there was plenty of effort in that there, but I thought Hearts, the minute Hearts scored, exactly what you said, it was like an all firm team, and they could have went up more and more gears if they wanted, and we gifted them every single goal. But that's what good teams do, is they punish you. And then I think that if it came down to it, Hearts have got plenty of quality round there that they would have been able to play through us anyway. But again, I just think it was really disappointing, but I'm not overly surprised, because for the minute I kind of woke up on the Saturday, I just couldn't. I was like, they'll come down, especially McInnes, they'll come down and beat us.
Well, I backed Aberdeen and Killie double. So I did, and I was excited because Aberdeen scored in the last minute, and I thought,
what even was the Aberdeen score?
They won 1-0 up at St Mirren. So I think they were 2-1 and we were 3-1. I thought, it's not a bad wee bet.
Setting the tone for the day.
I agree. I just think, listen, see, sometimes you just go to take your medicine. Like, just a better football team than us, and as they should be for the money they've spent. And we've been closer to Hearts than we probably ever should have been for all that time. You know what I mean? They've never managed to streak away from us and consistently put us to the sword. But I think they're a different proposition this year. I did say that right at the beginning of the season. I still stand by the top 5 spots. I think are already sewn up. I think Aberdeen are already motoring now. I think Hibs, Aberdeen and Rangers will come good and all. But listen, you can't get too down about it, because, like you said, can't get too high, can't get too low. We had 2 really, really good results against close competitors, and we're not the first or last team that are going to get bodied by Hearts this season. But it was just a sad one because of the circumstances. And that's where in fought for hyping each other bloody up. Callum, when are we going to grow up?
Well, we will grow up for now, because that's it over. Like, you draw the line under this whole Derek McInnes chapter and narrative that we tried to create, because fact of the matter is that we evidently weren't voicing the views of the majority of the support, going by the reception and that he received at the weekend. We seemed a lot more wound up than our folks, so which again is fair and all the rest of it. But I think now that there's no point, like, and that's it. Like, when we play Hearts again, it will just be back to a Commander Hearts game as far as I'm concerned. We've got to get hung up on Derek McInnes, because we had a chance to try and create and write an wee chapter or whatever, or force something that maybe wasn't there at the weekend, and we didn't. And again, as the saying goes, if you come for the king, well, Ken, you better finish him. And
better no miss.
That's it. And we didn't. So Del Boy lives on, man.
He does, aye. In terms of the actual performance, like you say, a few folk had a real off night. I mean, Watson, I don't know if he's been tired. He obviously had a lot of travel.
Azerbaijan during the weekend, man.
So couldn't get into the game, and it kind of passed them by. I thought the midfield were particularly poor. I thought
woeful.
Polworth really, really struggled. Just not his type of night. Like, I've spoke at length on here before, and I've made my feelings on him as a specific player quite clear. I do think there's a place for him in the squad, but I don't think if he's your starting midfielder in that position every single week that you're going to progress, because I don't think he's shown that at any point in his career. I think you'll get 2 or 3 good games out of him, and then he's got to come out and then bring him back in and use him like that. And I think there's definitely plenty of quality in him, but it looked to me like a game too far for him the other night. Just the pace of the night, just I thought totally kind of took him out. And even the defence, which is looked nice and solid most of the time, we're kind of all at sea. The likes of Mayo, who you're probably one of his most trusted players, didn't have a good night. Stanger struggled a wee bit. Dees struggled a wee bit. Just one of them, wasn't it? There was just no very many plus points at all, man. And we need to see some changes probably, I would suggest, for Sunday.
I don't think it'll be a huge overhaul, but there definitely will be changes, I think. It's one of these, whether we maybe need to try and rethink the system, because I know that he's stuck on the 3 centre halves and 2 wing backs, but whether you can continue with Bruce and Dackers, even though it has worked, but more so for the point that I was making last week, where
you have no options.
Where do you go for there?
That's right.
I think you need a goal threat at the bench or somebody there. So I think that one of them has to drop out, and it'll probably be Bruce, because I think Dackers is his boy, man. You know what I mean?
He seems to be the main go-to guy, doesn't he?
Aye, so I think that's it, because I think you definitely need somebody to come off the bench as a goal threat, and we just don't really have that, you know. So that'll change, but I think Stanger will drop out as well. I think that I was really impressed with him at certain points in the season as well, and I think that he's somebody that definitely will come good and will be and will prove to be a good signing for us, which I think he's shown that he's been decent enough, but I think he'll get exposed again. I mean, it's him that cost us the second goal, there's no doubt about that. When we throw him under the bus, but
he'll know that. He don't need us to tell him, man.
Exactly, man, exactly. So I think that with that, and as well as the kind of Livy game, like where obviously Robbie gets the penalty in that, you're just thinking, right, well, that's costly. That's cost us points, and that's a big realisation for the step up for the Championship into the Premier as well. So I think Williams will play again. I said I think that he's got too good a pedigree, quote unquote, to be sitting on the bench all the time, and I think that he appears to be signed to be a kind of first team regular. Because when we signed, we were thinking, why have we signed him? We're overloading centre half, and he didn't look like Ken there if a bench, you know what I mean? So I think that he'll maybe come in at left centre half, and I think these plays his best fit by the middle of a back three. So whether that suits us there and get Mayo continuing his place in the right. No, well, Mayo was playing the middle again, wasn't he? And Stanger was in the right, so it'll be completely reshuffling the three centre halves. But I think that there will be changes when we play Rangers on Sunday. I
think these signings they're no coming ready made. That's part of the cost cut, and we spoke about that at length, and that's why for me, after the kind of initial emotional response on Saturday, I'm feeling quite calm about it now, because it's like these guys aren't going to go on a run of winning 10 games, or there's going to be blips in the season. We're playing a team that are far better resourced than us, that are playing really, really well. So I'm a wee bit concerned that I would rather we weren't playing Rangers at Ibrox with a new manager, to be honest. I know Rangers have been a basket case, but the law of averages, even beyond how they're playing, says they're going to win a game at home, and it just happens to be us next after a bit of kind of chasing on Saturday. I'm not massively confident about that, but that said, we're just going to need to accept that. So I think I said that last week, and I do believe that over the next month the league will start to even out, and you'll really see where we're going to be amongst it. And I'm being just totally realistic here again, and I don't think this is a bad season, particularly if we can get a wee cup run happening. But there's this wee group of teams that I would include Dundee in, Livy, Falkirk, maybe ourselves, maybe Motherwell. I know they've been really good, but they're not winning any games. To me, they're the teams you're kind of keeping an eye on. And if we can finish 8th or 9th, man, considering the overhaul, considering the types of players we're bringing in, the likes of Stanger and Dackers, who are project players that might make us £1 million in 18 months, it's alright. So it's just about my message of the night. It's just a wee reset. It's done and dusted now, what happened on Saturday, and that wee chapter's finished. And I think it's just like, right, let's see what we've got. Can we put in a positive performance, look solid again on Sunday, and then we've got another big game against Aberdeen on the Wednesday night. Can we pick up a couple of points for these two games? Can we get a win out of these two games, and just keep it ticking over? So that's kind of where I'm at now. And then hopefully by then, Watkins is coming back. You're then maybe getting a time scale on Kennedy getting back. Maybe you're getting another striker in, and we can kind of see how we go in terms of the injuries and stuff. So that's where I'm at. Say one on Saturday, but I think you've just got to be as positive as you can be and look for it to another game on Sunday.
Well, I even said before the game on Saturday, when I was on the Hearts podcast, by the way, the boys were brand new, shout out to them, Hearts in the Sleeve podcast, but I said to them, they goes, where's you like Ken, where will Kilmarnock finish this year? I goes, same old, there's nothing in this league. And it goes, without this sounding completely pessimistic, somebody offered me 10th and I would shake hands on it, like I genuinely would, and that's no me saying that we're shite, but just for those reasons and all the circumstances that now surround this season. It's a rebuild, it's a new manager, it's a squad overhaul, it's project players, it's cost cutting, there's a training ground getting built. It's a case of being like, we just need to stay in the league this year, man, and that's where I'm at. And again, maybe not a blessing, because I'll never take a 3-0 defeat at home to be a blessing, and as much as it hurt me, man, and I told you how.
Did it hurt you?
Well, you still wouldn't
never hurt me. Never hurt me. I've not said that about it. I don't know what you're talking about.
You still wouldn't ken, man.
That Corey could talk. Oh my god.
I know, man. But you're like, it's probably that all that is a pipe dream for us this season, man. Like, I mean, and I don't mean you're writing after the rest of the season, but I'm like, Hearts lock the part. They're 5 points clear at the top of the league now. With Celtic to play on Sunday, after the back of Celtic playing in Europe, like that's a lead that's getting stretched as far as I'm concerned. And you're just like, right, we can for our breeds battered now, man, and let's just go and deal with it.
Alright, so prediction then for Sunday, what's it saying? You think there'll be a couple of changes? The Lions will surely come back, and I know the Nev wasn't happy with Lions either when he came on.
Thought they weren't happy with him.
But just an half night. I think we just need to put it to bed, to be honest. So, but Lions has to come back into the team. He's the captain. He's got to play
physicality,
the physicality and all that stuff. And again, I wouldn't be surprised to see a wee tweak to the system for the reasons you've said, and because obviously Rangers will have a lot of the ball and stuff. So, have you got a prediction for Sunday? Positive
4-0
prediction?
Rangers.
4-0 Rangers. I'm going to go 5-0.
Nah. Again, it's so funny how quickly things change, because you're thinking at the weekend, Ken with the nick that Rangers are in the now, but even that it seems to have now passed because they've got the new manager ready to come in, but they've got to get through Thursday night as well.
Said that weeks ago, mate, on here. I said guaranteed Rangers' new manager will be ready for us.
Aye.
Said that weeks and weeks ago, and then when Martin got the sack 2 weeks, I'm thinking, they'll have it in by then. They might actually, but no, fate has intervened, and
that's it.
They'll be waiting on us.
But it's one of those, if we can go and try and, but it's the biggest lift that Rangers will have so far this season anyway, because even in the league, because their fans already had their minds made up before the league started with their performances in Europe and that, so it's a case that there'll be more goodwill in the bank for the players and the manager on Sunday, as there should be, given that he's just in the door. But if we can go and do our usual, try and frustrate or whatever, but we need to carry more a threat going forward, man. I think that was sorely lacking on Saturday as well. Again, some early pressure with corners and that, but we never worked the goalie, man. Dackers with that chance that he gets, he's got to do miles better, like, for a striker, and we've got to really we've got to create more a goal threat going forward, which I know has improved over the last few weeks, but it was sorely lacking on Saturday.
So what do you think the score will be then?
I said
4-0 Rangers. Aye.
Nah, well, again, I'll do my usual, come back and say we'll go up and get a point.
I don't know if you
lying to the camera.
For those of you watching, you'll be able to see how much he believes that. If you were listening, he was a bit like, what was that, Droopy the dog? Remember him? Listen, it's got a tough ask, especially after that. I would take a point all day long. But bottom line is, Rangers are in disarray. You got there and it's not. You got 1-0 after half an hour. Then you've got a chance. You've got to capitalise on it,
mate. Well, we spoke on here in one of the Patreons recently about when we played the worst Rangers team in history, arguably, at Ibrox, and they still beat us 3-0. You know what I mean? What was there, 14,000 in the ground, man? Boyd right. Back playing with Rangers, and that, it was awful. So, like, you know what I mean? It's and we've got a better record at Ibrox than that we do at Parkhead, and everybody listening or watching knows that.
Aye, so just go to hope for the best and go up there and maybe a wee freshen up of the team, just what we're needing. So
hope so, man. Yeah, again, everybody will be happy. You see a better performance and go in there and everything causing problems in. But the thing is, with Aberdeen coming down, like, you've got to pick up a point for either of the two games.
Aye, kind of getting dragged back in a wee bit, but I've got to be positive, got to try your best, and hopefully a wee reset this week. It's been a tricky few days, but listen, go up there and put the best in, put on a show for the support that'll go up and back, as at Ibrox as well was doing. 37 quid a ticket or whatever, you know, it's expensive. So I am hoping that the boys, and if what there is no doubt about is, if we play to our best, we can cause them problems. There's no question about that. So let's hope we can manage that, man.
It's funny because see, if I was on here and we just beat Hearts, you'd be talking about all the momentum ways. We're saying we'll be taking that. You definitely take a bigger crowd up because of that bit of belief. But the way that my mind works, I'd be on here saying we'll not go to Rangers and back that up. So you look at that as a positive. After the back of a bad result, then we can try and go to Ibrox and pick up some points.
Yes.
But as had we all the momentum,
you would be thinking it'd be the other way around a bit. Right, okay, let's go over to the X. We've got some questions coming in here. First one comes from Adam Lyon, who obviously does a lot of really, really good work with the Killie community stuff, and obviously on the commentary side of things.
Yes, of course.
Top
I've
guy.
done really well this season.
Yes, loads of good feedback, mate.
Better than John Barnes, for sure.
John Barnes? That used to play for Liverpool?
Aye, Celtic manager.
Aye.
See him tweeting about
you a real Killie fan?
Evidently no.
Well, I could have told you that a while ago. Anyway, John Barnes is coming on the Patreon next week, so we can put it to him. I'm only kidding. We'll put it to him. Interesting comments. So Adam gets in touch and says, "Hi guys, just wanted to say thanks to all the Trust members for joining us at the Killie Club on Saturday, our biggest turnout yet, to hear ex-player Ian Cowboy McCullough tell plenty of stories from his time at the club, and we'll be back for the Aberdeen game in the East View Suite. Also big thanks to the members who voted to approve our proposal for 80% of all Trust income between now and July next year going to pitch, and if anyone isn't a member of the Trust, now's the time to get involved at £5 a month. Our improvements to the toilets at Rugby Park is set to begin soon, as well as the members voting to approve the 15k of funding towards this exciting times for the Trust. So loads of good work going on, helping to improve the club as best we can. You see Kathy put a wee video out trying to explain the difference between the Trust and the Killie community. I thought that was valuable. Very, very welcome that, and again really giving folk all the facts there in black and white. So, and we're like broken records here, man, but if you're not signing up for the Trust yet, then I don't know what you're doing, to be honest, man, because for all the money's going into the club, that's it there. It's got to help completely fund this new pitch, and at least you know,
stop some of the outlay going directly to Billy Bowie's pocket, who's already building as a training ground and that. So please get behind it if you can, and sign up, and all the other great initiatives, standing section and that there, and these few sweet everything that's going on, and the community hub and that before the games as well that's run by them. It's a brilliant initiative, and we spoke at that at length last week, so please get involved.
And again, important to take stock when maybe things stay feel a wee bit low compared to where we were at with things like that 10 years ago. It's night and day.
It's night and day.
Engagement's tremendous, and so loads and loads to be proud of there, everybody, so support it if you can. Gunnar Vance gets in touch. Alright mate, I'm driving all day tomorrow back for Alton Towers. A wee trip to Alton Towers. Most handsome man at Alton Towers. Watched the second half yesterday. Theo and I were gutted that our next game was going to be Ibrox, but now we're full of cheer. Yes, we were shit on Saturday. McInnes is like a sunbed sucking the moisture from your skin. That was the worst of the season, but from a team who Cal hopes finish 10th, on we roll. Give Dackers a fresh pair of Sambas, Tiffany with Nikes like Forrest Gump. We have highs this year and the lows might be really low, so before everyone gets too sombre, there's fans on the side of the pitch that need to remember we might have to carry this team now and then, so fair enough. And signing off, what's your favourite roller coaster?
That's a brilliant message for Gunnar Vance, man.
As always.
Probably I've been to Disneyland Paris, I've never been to Alton Towers, but I've got to, pay homage to close to home, Loudon Castle, the Thunderloop Express. So the Barnstormer,
right,
was like the big one. I think it used to be called, was it like the William Wallace sort of thing?
Braveheart.
Braveheart. Aye, so my era
typical SNP answer, man. I was going back to independence.
That's what it felt like on Saturday, man. 19th of September.
Clackmannanshire.
2014, man. That was how gut-wrenching it was for me at the weekend.
I thought you recovered quicker in 2014 than you've recovered for this.
Probably did, man. Aye, probably did. But it's got to be Loudon Castle and go back to that. How about you?
Good. I'm a Pepsi Max man at the Blackpool Pleasure Beach.
You love Blackpool. Never been to Blackpool either. So
well, it's not called that anymore. It's called the big one now, I think. But I love it.
Not what to call it, the Pepsi Mask anymore.
No.
Nah.
How come?
Get locked up for saying your English.
Right, okay. Is Pepsi okay? That's what Melanie always says. You know the way when you're in a restaurant or a pub or whatever and you say, can I get a can of Coca-Cola? Or can I get a Diet Coke and vodka or whatever? Oh, is Pepsi okay? Mel's like, why do Pepsi no use that as their actual slogan?
That's brilliant. Aye.
You see the advert? Is Pepsi okay?
Aye. I like it. I prefer Pepsi as well.
I like a Pepsi.
Aye.
I actually like a Pepsi Max. Right, okay, let's get on with these questions. Stuart Little gets in touch. Max Ingles this season has been a large part of the defence looking so organised. The change with Beach seemed to make a negative difference. I'm hoping it's just a one-off.
Agreed, man. I think that's it. Know that Stryek has been like outstanding or your player of the season, but he's just brought a bit of confidence to as I said, the defence and the certainty of him being between the sticks and defenders knowing what they're going to get. And you could definitely tell that the communication wasn't there at the weekend. I'm not blaming Beach for that. I just think it's natural that when something's been working pretty well and you change it, when you've been forced into a change, then again it's communication and wavelengths and that are all about the shop, aren't they?
Yes, okay. So the Killie View podcast, get in touch. It's Martin. He's made a point of saying that because I think somebody had to go at them for slagging Beach and Hopesy was it wasn't me, it was Martin. Long Martin on the bus there, Hopesy. So Beach gives me, Martin, the fear going into the next few games. Maybe it was down to nerves, but I do recall him getting sent off after 5 minutes for the B team this season. Hopefully turns out okay with more game time. But would you say Max is our biggest loss for the injuries?
I would say so. Definitely for that. I mean, out with when the news broke last week, you're thinking like anybody but Davy Watson, like kind of thing. Like even because you feel like you can work around it, but a goalie's just so key. Even if it was one of the centre backs, you've got like the likes of Williams and that on the bench, or Shelty Brown that's already played this year that can come back in. So no, I agreed, but I thought at the time that I was nervous with Beach coming in nets anyway, just for the reasons that we've already outlined. But I actually thought early doors that he'd done alright, and I actually thought some of his distribution was good. Like I thought like the way he kind of tried to pass the ball and that. I actually thought initially it was a good save for the second, but having seen it back, I'm like, oh man, he's going to do so much better. Don't get me wrong, he shouldn't be in that situation. It's comedy errors for obviously starting with Stanger and then the rest of the defence not getting back in time, but he's got to do a lot better, man, because it's shot straight at him.
Martin Barkley, who's a goalkeeper of repute himself, clean sheet on Saturday for Shortleys. Thought we had an awful second half. First we were okay in spells. My weird concern is why we chose Beach over Armour, and I've got a few reasons for this. So this is Corey Armour, who's back for his loan. Armour has been tried and tested in Scottish football, albeit at a lower level, but it's men's football, as in no age group football. Beach's mainly reserves are youth and not played much of a physical game. I know he wasn't terrible overall and he needs experience in the men's game, but I'm baffled why O'Hara was also let go if McCrory was going. Knowing our luck, Rangers will get a new manager bounce before we play them. So there you go. I mean, I would trust Bartley's opinion on a goalie over Mace folks.
Oh, without a doubt. Again, somebody that actually plays between the sticks. But I'm not overly, again, I would have been shocked if Corey Armour started at nets at the weekend when Beach was there, because you've not brought a guy up for England when your number one goalie gets injured to be like Ken, obviously leapfrogged by the third choice. That's, well, fourth choice actually, because technically McCrory would be the third choice, wouldn't he, given we've got two of them out on loan. So again, I would have been shocked if Armour was in nets. Again, do I disagree with Bartley, or do I think that Armour shouldn't be given a chance? I'm not saying that, but I just think that it was always got to be Beach in nets. He's been signed as number 2.
Do you like the Beach?
Like going to the beach?
Aye.
Nah, not really.
I'm not a big Beach fan.
I like going for the cold dip at the beach, though.
Aye, that's right. Aye.
But I don't like. I was never one for like in my youth or that. Let's go
I'm
to
the
beach
same.
and
I can't be bothered with the beach. I don't really even like the swimming pool.
I love the swimming pool.
Aye.
Aye.
But no, don't love the beach. You ever seen the film The Beach?
I love it.
Oh, that's really good, isn't it?
Robert Carlyle in it as well. Man.
Really good.
Right,
Greg Halbert gets
I
in
think
touch.
Leonardo DiCaprio actually owns that island.
Oh, does he?
No,
Aye.
maybe that's just a
Good film, good soundtrack.
What is it?
All Saints.
Aye. Yeah.
Oh, you're a Spice Girls man through and through. Listen, don't slag other Killie fans for having opinions on girl bands.
Aye, everybody's allowed an opinion, man.
Right, Greg Halbert gets in touch. No, have to Greg for you well. Breaking news and bloody typical. Rangers have announced a new manager just in time for their first domestic games against us. Do we hopefully bounce back from last weekend and break the Rangers' new manager's curse, or are we waiting to see if we get points against Aberdeen? So we've kind of covered that already. But what's your vibe on that? You think we've got to get points somewhere there?
Aye, I would say so. But it's great to just hear from Greg again. So thanks for getting in touch, mate.
Alec Knox, why do Rangers always appoint a new manager before the players? First Baza, now Danny, roll and sausage. Don't fancy our chances next weekend. Even Baza got the new manager bounce.
Aye, I just think that the timing's awful for us, especially with the news breaking like yesterday that Muscat had apparently thought that you're thinking, here we go. Like, and this is, we maybe will just get away with this, but then no less than a day later than I pointed on the next manager.
Brian Gibson gets in touch. Hello, Brian. The senior players let us down in that game at the weekend, but try to take some positives out of it. I thought Thompson played well again, getting proper stuck in and fighting to get possession back when it went down the left. My favourite player right now. I
can't comment anything after 60 minutes because I wasn't there, so I didn't see how the game played out thereafter.
What about Thompson in general?
I think he's been really good. Said that he's got to extend his deal, but I just thought first half he was good at getting on the ball and trying to actually make passes down the left hand side. That was definitely where our attacking threat was coming down. We tried to play down the left, but I didn't think that we created anywhere near enough, and the wing backs are key to us doing that.
Alex Maxwell gets in touch. Hello, Alex. When was the last central defender that we turned into a striker? Is there any current ones that are a possibility?
Central defender turned into a striker? Don't know.
Somebody would throw up front. Because I remember Big Harper messaged and said about us actually playing Joe Wright up front for a while. And he was being serious at that point.
He used to put Wright up top the last 5-10 minutes if we're chasing a game.
Who's the bet? You remember Chris Sutton sometimes playing at centre half?
Aye, Mark Catley and all that.
Aye, they were good, weren't they? Gregor gets in touch and says thoughts on McInnes' comments about the reception that he got. Disappointed in the softness of the second and third goal. Big fan of Polworth usually, but it was found out, and we need to think our 3-man midfield Lyons, Watson and Lowry maybe. Thoughts on McInnes' comments about the reception?
You can take that. I think everybody knows.
Don't have anything to say about that.
I don't think that there really is anything to say anyway.
Alessandro Boscanero, who is many things but not Italian. This is the kind of question we're talking about here, right? Getting to the nitty gritty, getting deep down and dirty. It's a roller coaster being a Killie fan, but which roller coaster song is better? Life is a Roller Coaster by Ronan Keating, or Roller Coaster of Love by Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Aye, well, the Beavis and Butthead soundtrack.
Roller coaster.
Aye, it's got to be that.
Aye. I'm Keating, man. I love that song.
This is you exposing yourself again, man.
Bring it on. Too late for that.
We are. You really like your kind of early noughties pop.
It's nostalgia for me.
kind of late. So that obviously it's got a place there, but I've told you that Matthew slags you for that, didn't I?
Does he?
I like how Crowded House are like your favourite band and all that.
Well, not my favourite band, but my top 5 definitely. I love Crowded House.
So you're going to read there, man.
Why did Matthew say that, man?
I don't know, man. You need to ask him. He never wastes a word, Matthew.
No, he doesn't waste a word.
So you want to think what's going through his head?
I'll be having words with him about that. No, I can take a slagging. Anyway, that's the end of the questions. Thanks very much for listening. We'll see you next week.
But real, man, with my attitude, don't know, man.
Aye, I know.
I'm really hot.
You're all early place tonight.
I'm hard, man.
No, I actually like that Ronan Keane song, and I love Crowded House. Suit me. The Real Bidey gets in touch. Well, let me see, because there's been replies.
That's never a good sign.
Maybe I'm crazy, but my ears heard more grief towards Finlay than McInnes on Saturday, which I find mad. Might just be me, but I still hold Finlay in high regard. A guy who was awesome for us over a decade and didn't want to not play for Oxford, so took the move. Also says, a lot of people looking too far into that I wouldn't play for anyone else in Scotland line. No reason to believe he didn't mean it at the time. But if Hearts offered to cover more of his wages than us and he get the chance to play, I don't blame him. I disagreed with the booing.
Well, I booed them, so I can't really say anything. But again, that comes. I think that, to be fair, it's like it probably maybe sounded worse at the game for him because he's literally in the park and getting the ball. So Andy was over at the stand side whilst the game was still remotely competitive at that point. So I presume that he would maybe get a wee bit more pelters. But aye, man, I said it. I mean, that's what it's there for. Did you hear his interview before the game though?
Finlay? No.
Alright, so he done his interview with Premier Sports, so this maybe puts to bed that when folk are like, oh well, it's Oxford because they've covered Mary's wages. Right. He said himself, everybody knows how hard a decision it was to leave Kilmarnock, but I had to go and follow the gaffer. Basically words to that effect. Yeah. So to me that sounds like still his choice. Which we all knew anyway, because he basically refused other moves last year in order to come back to Killie as he did. No, sorry, not to come back to Killie, to play for Derek McInnes the last 2 seasons. So, and now he's went and played for him for the third. So it's nothing to do with it was Finlay's choice to bet Tynecastle. But if he goes and ends up in a title race, then who can blame him? Aye.
Good for him. David Hanna gets in touch. I'm interested in further thoughts on the fire in the belly that seemed to be lacking from the fans on Saturday and in general. Are we just too passive at home, and are we just meekly accepting mediocrity? And if so, why?
Did you see somebody calling us the passive police on the forums as well?
Oh, is that right?
Aye. So. It was actually funny though. Maybe like it was just a wee in joke there. I thought it was actually funny when I read it, but don't know. You can answer that one.
Nah, we're fine.
Sorry, David, man, because I like the fact that he's on our side with that. Because if there was one guy that I'd want my side, it's David Hanna.
That is very true.
Write an article on it, David. Please.
The Shortleys salmon chucker gets in touch all the way from across the pond. You said we shouldn't be too hard on Finlay in case he comes back one day, but seeing his full rattery after celebrating the first goal, what do you think now? I also didn't think we lost that game, we gave it away.
Did we say no to be hard on Finlay? No, but take the piss, just saying like, because we'll give him dog's abuse, but if he comes back and signs at the end of the season, all will be forgiven. Aye.
No, I don't mind folk giving him dog's abuse.
No, and I don't mind him celebrating either because he doesn't play for us anymore. Nah. But I don't even actually think his celebration was that bad anyway.
Nah. Vicky Black got in touch. Hi Vicky. A very disappointing performance and beaching goals didn't inspire confidence as I didn't feel he commanded his box the way Max does. Also we lack width. You said that and all. None of them seem to be able to run at defenders and whip in across, but we have to go again this weekend. That's really it, Vicky.
Got to bottle that and get it back out.
That's really it. We've just got to dust ourselves down and go again. Kyle Anderson gets in touch. Saturday was the poorest I've seen us this season. Could have prevented all 3 goals, but I'm over it already. It's done and by with. Absolutely, mate. Got another game to focus on. Hopefully Max isn't out too long. Big miss. I think there'll be changes to come. I think Lions will come in for Polworth. With Dundee beating Celtic makes the league very tight. 5 points between 3rd and 12th. I think picking up points at home is going to be so massive. I know it's still early in the season, but do you think with Daniels out and possibly Max out, we need to try and strengthen in their positions for cover?
Without doubt, man. I wasn't sure whether we would have maybe been entitled to an emergency goal at one point but I doubt that'll be the case now if we've recalled Armour. So again, which I think is a strange one because I think that it'd be better for Corey to be out playing and for us to try and go and get an experienced guy back in. But well, that's saying if Stryett's got to be out for as long as it's believed to be. And as we said last week, man, if there's somebody in the free, we need options for the bench.
Definitely
as in a goal-scoring option.
A centre forward, I think. John Reid gets in touch. Hi John. Apathy abounds. We need something to get behind. Squad disinvestment means survival is now the only aim. Why bother turning up when the bar is now so low? The first team is all that matters. Why invest in Bowie Park when we've made money from 2 youth players in a generation?
It's funny because
you sound like cheery chops.
His theory on the youth is something that I've kind of supported the last few years. I think that, but something I would rather not see. I want to see as many players coming through the youth setup as possible. But the fact of the matter is that I think a club of our size has never near used their youth academy to like the resource that it should be. Don't get me wrong, it's easier now. If somebody looks alright, somebody from England comes and takes them without them playing a first team game. I get that, but so I don't think he's as wide off the mark with that. But the fact of the matter is we need a training ground that sets you apart. That's a selling point. It's a selling point to getting players in, and there definitely is a bit of apathy about it. I can understand that, but you summed it up well earlier on, man. Like, I think we know where we're at now. Like, and again, I think that the Saturday showed us that. But there we go, man. We'll go and beat Rangers at Ibrox on Sunday now. But can we get Europe again? We're third, whatever. But I can see where he's coming from, but I don't know whether he's maybe just been at it. Be a bit facetious there, man. Which I respect, I fears.
Kevin, go in touch. Hi, Kevin. Dakar's goal versus St Mirren will be the goal of the season in May. 9 touches from the keeper to the net and all vital. Bruce's contribution epitomises never say die attitude that I want to see in the team. I thought it was better than Brannan's wonder strike at Hibs. Try and stay positive, guys. It was a cracking goal. It was brilliant, man. Brilliant goal. Love a team goal like that. Brilliant ball in for Bruno as well. So aye. Galak gets in touch. If Max is to be out long term, would you rather a scarecrow in goals or recall McCrory? Maybe the scarecrow would at least scare off the seagulls. If the circus continues at Ibrox, do you fancy us for a point? Well, the circus is left the town. Circus is over. That is, aye. They're back. Captain Conker, the gorgeous squirrel. If the cup draw balls in the air fryer conspiracy was to be, should we expect a Killie versus Hearts draw in the Scottish Cup? Bad. Hope no. Because they'll beat us. Aye, horrible. If you had a last minute replacement in the squad, what would you be your? If you had to be the last minute replacement in the squad, what would your preferred position be, and what would your least favourite position be? Well, centre mid, but you would need to put about 9 David Watsons on about us for that to be anywhere. Quarterbacking. Remotely, I wouldn't even go as far as saying effective. Worst position, anywhere out wide or at wing back. Aye. You're not getting the best out of me. But look, give me the middle of the park. I can't be fine in there, mate. I would struggle in goals, I think. I would take my chances more in nets than I would at playing. It would be really bad for me now. I would get really badly roasted. I was getting really badly roasted the last few times I played at the Grange with you, man. I was getting targeted. I was getting targeted by the young guys. Your heat was away, man. Before you even turned up. That's when we turned up for this podcast. That's when I started getting into crowded house, Matthew. Don't dream it's over. Graham Johnson gets in touch. So disappointed that. Where would your position be, man, to go in if you had to go? If the kit was rotten, man, and he had to just throw somebody in. Take Thompson out and fire me in. Give me 6 weeks to get fit. Would you lowest 3 staying. Would you wear black bats? Yes. Aye. Graham Johnson gets touched. So disappointed that Sunday was the game the players turned in their worst performance of the season. So Saturday, obviously. Outfoot all over the pitch and they had more desire. I thought Polworth was due off at half time. They got their press on him spot on. I would freshen up the team with a few changes. I think that's fair, mate. And thanks again for the Patreon idea, which we'll probably talk about more next. Cheers, man. Dell, still quite topical that the team gave a typical McInnes-esque performance from last season on Saturday. Lots of huff and puff, no cutting edge in our defence, shit in the bed and shipping goals. That Sunday League team would be embarrassed of. Changes needed for Ibrox. Alan Bowie, Saturday was disappointing. We had an off day. Whilst I don't blame Beach for the loss, we did miss the presence of Big Max. Mikey Kenmuir get in touch to say, well, that was shite on Saturday. The amount of injuries are concerning. How embarrassing will it be if we don't take something off Sevco? And to top off a shite weekend, Burke is now left. Wish him nothing but the best. Stu's fuming, man. I can hear him. I can hear him from here. He's bristling over there. We need to watch what we're saying in here. Lord Nimmo report, man. So that's no one for us. I think that's us, because the next one's a reply to the other podcast. Any more? The other podcast? Oh, aye, the lads. Baz sent us in the email
if you want to dig that
Oh,
up.
aye, right, okay.
'Cause it was actually a good read. It was funny, so if you want to dig that up, I think it's the last one in the email thread. Because
Okay,
Baz, of
yeah.
course, made his political stance by not being on X anymore.
Yes, right, so Baz got in touch. The result on Saturday has to be expected, although not a foregone conclusion, as anything can happen in football. We were playing a team very much on an upward trajectory, with our big money investment, reinvigorated support and leading the league with ease as Celtic crumble under the weight of their own expectations, and Rangers giving a new meaning to the term clusterfuck. Whether this can be maintained remains to be seen. I'd imagine the perfect storm conditions would have to be maintained for a sustained period for them to be champions, but let's be honest, most fans of Scottish teams would be glad to see the duopoly smashed. But how much of this is down to our old pal Dell? Very little in my opinion. I've no doubt that he's a good enough manager at this level, but we've all seen his best and worst, and on his own he's far from league winning material. It's testament to how far our domestic game has fallen that we look to be on the verge of the first ever title possibly be won by AI. The Moneyball style Jamestown analytics system is far from flawless, but it doesn't half give a team advantage when it comes to finding low cost hidden gems. In England it's proved to be quite the leveller. In the top division in Scotland it could be a game changer. My point here is that we shouldn't be too despondent about losing to an AI assisted Hearts. We won't be the last team they turn over, but should we be worrying about what happens when the other clubs with cash realise that it's not a new manager they need, it's a computer and a coach that looks and talks a good game on the camera, much like the McInnes PR machine in self-promotion mode?
Well, this is
a really interesting point.
I think it is an interesting point, and I mean the two big finds of that so far, Braga and what is it, Kazadiris or whatever it was, like they looked absolutely class. Like Braga get the better of me for the game started.
He did.
Half the item and completely. The way he actually takes his goals unbelievable as well.
Aye.
I thought it like deflected back off him in person, but it's a great wee drag in the goalie, and he looks a top player.
Aye, okay, right, that's that put to bed.
Alan's gripe of the week.
Alan's gripe of the week, and then move on, and we'll do the famous All Roads, and then we'll leave.
That sounds good, man.
So Alan's gripe of the week. Alan's gripe of the week. Well, what can I say about the shocking display? Maury said he really likes this, by the way, in the Pyramid on Saturday.
Maury does?
Aye, Maury's like, I really like the gripe of the week. Enjoy
That's
it.
good, man. I
well,
don't like it this week anyway.
Well, what can I say about the shocking display of Killie Cow's dress sense?
This is it, by the way.
Dressing up like a casual. Right, let's get to business. Pelican crossings. Why are they called this? Is it for pelicans only? You're crossing the road when you're not even halfway across and the peeps start. We're not Linford Christie, for God's sake. Showing your age there, Linford Christie's not been famous for about 30 years. What about zebra crossings? Are they only for zebras? Only whoever... It's just so harsh. Whoever thought about these names should be shot. Then we have these Belisha beacons flashing. Do we have to flash to cross them? At least we still have these giant lollipops with men or women. Give us all time to cross the road, for goodness sake. It's supposed to be about road safety. And as for Saturday, I have no comment, as people have probably said all there is to say. And Stuart Kettlewell we trust.
AI road crossings going forward, please.
Aye. Alan's AI gripe of the week.
The last time we need to do is introduce Alan to ChatGPT.
Aye. So there you go. So you go it. The Pelican crossings go it.
Aye.
You're in good company.
You got it, didn't you, the other week?
Oh, I had it because I never read his comment.
Aye. You still say about that?
Aye, it doesn't seem to get a bit out of it. We love you, Alan, mate. Thank you so much for your comments.
Good to bump into him in Saturday.
He's a lovely guy.
Yeah, he's a top man.
He's a top guy.
And loves Killie, mate.
And he does. Don't we all? Let's not forget that. That's why I'm over it, man. I'm over what happened on Saturday. I'm over the ex-manager. I've nothing more to say. I was going to say something else. I'm not going to say it.
Nah, just it, man.
Nah. I can't even be bothered. So we just.
Because you want me to look like the miserable one, then.
I am Mr. Happy Clappy. He just sits in the house listening to the crowd at the house with a big smile on my face. But nah, listen, it's done. And he was a divisive guy for the minute he got the job, and it's remained, but it's got to stop now because we're all.
Well, that's it. It's genuinely over.
It's over.
So well done, Dill.
Well done.
Although interesting to hear, to give the man credit. Remember, he went up and gave you and Peyton his special congratulations.
Aye, that's right. Aye. No, good guy.
Because he was able to see the clip for this podcast, which is interesting. So that was Dell made a beeline for Pates at the.
Aye, he did. And shook his hand for getting engaged.
And congratulate him and getting engaged,
which was a podcast exclusive.
Aye, so.
Anyway, right, mate. Let's do all roads lead to Killie, and then
the top man's about, innit, man?
Let's go.
Right, player number 1, Brisbane Strikers, Marconi Stallions, Swindon Kilmarnock.
Danny Minogue.
Correct.
It's Danny Invincible, aye.
It is. Of course.
So that's £2.
Rumours has it that he was once a.
I read a rumour that he wasn't a very nice person.
Who? Danny Invincible?
Aye. I think it was Ding that wrote that.
Is it?
Don't want to start a wee feud there.
Get Ding on the pod, man, to explain it.
That actually would be good.
That would be good. Aye. Right, we want to do that anyway, didn't we? Get more fans on, so. Aye. Player number 2, St Mirren, Watford, Shrewsbury on loan, Sheffield United, Dundee on loan, Dundee, Wycombe, St Mirren, Hibs, Morton on loan, Kilmarnock.
Dear me. Quite the career, that. What kind of era?
Played for Kilmarnock in the Champy.
In the Champy?
Key
in the Champy?
Aye.
Ooh.
St Mirren.
Oh, it must be Meatball's brother.
Yes.
Stephen McGinn.
Stephen McGinn, correct. Now a coach at Falkirk.
Oh, is he?
Aye.
By the way,
Falkirk or St Mirren.
good player for us. I'd have kept him in the Premier League, probably.
I genuinely, for that, like, kind of bit part player to come in and out. I wouldn't disagree.
I would have
with
seen
it.
a lot worse than Stephen McGinn for Killie, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. This next player, I am not reading out his loan clubs.
Right, too long.
Yes. So I'll go up to Kilmarnock at this point anyway.
Right.
But Reading, 4 clubs on loan. Wycombe, loan. Nottingham Forest, Derby, loan. Blackpool, loan. Doncaster, Kilmarnock.
Tyson.
Aye, you're right.
Nathan
Well
Tyson.
done.
I actually was going to guess that when you said I'm not reading out the loan clubs, and just I've been on his Wikipedia and I know how
Fair play,
how
man.
busy they are. It's Nathan Tyson.
What an awful goal. The King Presser.
King
of course.
Presser, aye. King of the press.
But, by the way, his Reading record, man. This is a record Marcus Dackers would be proud of.
Right.
33 games, 1 goal. Maidenhead, 8-3. Aye, some of them. Good spell at Wycombe, but.
Aye.
And again, contributed to the Killie boys whilst to be certain, man.
That's all we can ask.
Roy's work after the boss.
That's all we can ask.
So, aye, good player, man.
There we
And
go.
King Presser, early pod part of that.
That was back in the day, so that's a £6 going in, everybody. So
Aye.
give generously if you're able. Right, okay, that's it. We're moving on. We're looking forward to Sunday up at Ibrox. If you're going to go and enjoy it. Get behind the boys as we always do. And then a big game on the Wednesday night against Aberdeen. We'll be there with a flower in my hair, ready to back the boys. And so we just need to dust ourselves down and go again, mate.
Indeed we will.
Simple as that. Take the loss, take the L, as the youngsters say. Take our medicine, and then on we go. Right, we'll take our leave, shall we, for this
we will,
podcast. I'm going to go and phone your brother, talk to him about this Crowded House thing. Crowded House are a very, very good band. Jeez, oh man.
You'll get folk out and support you after the back of this.
That's it. Please support me and support Crowded House. Right, okay, mate, thanks for your company.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for listening or watching. We'll be back next week with a little bit of chat about Ibrox and looking forward to Aberdeen. Right, see you later, everybody. Cheers.